everybody, to the very first and hopefully very best episode of We Made It. He's already laughing. I love it. It makes me so happy.
I forgot about the name.
Yeah, we made it, man.
We made it.
We did it, dude. We're here.
We've almost made it.
What are you talking about? Of course we've made it.
Compared to where it started, yeah.
Exactly. And that's
But I'm still not there yet.
I'm so glad you said that because that's exactly what this show is about.
It's yes and no.
We're gonna take a trip down Garret Lane.
Oh God.
We're going to take a trip down Garret Lane and we're going to figure out how Garret made it here. Because, look, I'll tell you this. This is what I tell people all the time. I wasn't born on third base, but I was rounding second. I was coming in for a stand-up triple. Like, any bad situation I put myself in was simply because of me. I was never in a bad situation because of the circumstances I grew up in.
Oh no, yeah. Any bad situation.
Any bad spot was my fault.
It was absolutely my fault.
So, but not everybody's like that. So this show is about people that it's not like that, but it's also people like me and you that we just screwed ourselves over and we just took the long way about getting here.
God, yes, we did.
Yeah.
I definitely did, especially going to school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people go to school for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
Okay.
It took me 7 years to get my bachelor's degree.
Wait. No. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
Okay. So let's start this off right. Well, all right, so you're from here.
Yeah, I'm from Waco. I'm from China Spring.
So you grew up in China Spring your whole life?
Just outside of Waco, yeah.
Yeah, and you were there your whole life. You went to kindergarten there. You never switched school.
No. So
okay.
So before that, I went to Lacey Lakeview. I went to Conley.
Oh, I was a Conley kid.
You were a Conley kid?
I was a Conley kid till the fifth grade.
I was up until the sixth grade. Yeah,
wow.
After fifth grade, we moved to China Spring. Mom and Dad got a job at Pilgrims.
So let me ask you this: why did they move you out of Conley intentionally, or it was just you just moved?
We just moved.
Okay, because we got moved intentionally because it's a tough one over there.
No. No, we didn't want to be at Conley anymore. It wasn't what Mom and Dad wanted. So yeah, we moved to China Spring. They got a new job over at Pilgrims and. They wanted a new house anyways.
So how old were you when this happened?
I mean, I was going to sixth grade. So.
Oh, okay. So you were. I thought you said 6 years old. You said
No.
Grade.
I was young. Yeah, I was young, but not young enough to remember.
Oh, so you were in the sixth grade. See, okay. So that's when I went. That's when I moved schools.
Yeah.
This is insane. We got the same story, little buddy.
Kinda, except you're much older.
Hey, man. Hey. All right. So you went to so we're talking about junior high, high school, everything in China Spring. You didn't move around anymore. No. So you only moved one time your whole life?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Oh yeah.
So you lived in one house and then you just lived in another house and that's it.
I've only had to move to two houses. Like as a family, yeah, we've only done it twice.
Wow.
Or well, we've only done it once actually. Let me rephrase that. Yeah.
That's insane. To me that's insane because I've moved around God knows how many times.
Oh no. I mean, and then of course moving out from there to my roommates. I've only moved 3 times in my life.
So you moved from your parents' house and where you're living now, that was your third move?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? How old are you?
I'm 30.
You've moved 3 times in your life and you're 30?
Yep.
Jesus Christ, are you serious?
Dead serious.
That's insane.
So I can't consider it moving. So whenever I all right. So after I graduated China Spring, I went to go play ball at Cisco Junior College.
Okay.
I don't count that moving because
that's just going to school.
That's just going to school.
Yeah.
And you take some shit with you, bring it back.
Yeah, sure.
So I got real good at being a pack rat on coming back and forth, which is always funny because like I would go to Cisco, I'd pack everything in, take it there, and I could do it in one trip. But always coming back, I always had more stuff. I was like, hang on a minute. I don't think I got any more stuff. Why could I not pack everything in? So I'd do 2 trips.
So were you, okay, so you were you a decent high school student?
I was okay. I was a B and C student. I wasn't anything special.
That's not bad though.
But I mean, I was a good kid. You know, I never really got in trouble.
So you weren't a troublemaker.
No.
Really? You're just that guy.
Then, I mean, every now and then we'd go ding dong ditch. We shot out pizza guy's taillights. We shot out the neighbors' windows with BB guns one time. I mean,
Did you get caught?
yeah, we all got in trouble for it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I never did anything real crazy.
Really?
Well, I mean, I was in high school. I was playing sports all the time.
Right. You were always busy.
Yeah, I was always busy.
Too busy to get in trouble.
Too busy to get in trouble.
Okay.
For the most part.
Yeah. So you're just if there's just an average American kid, that's what we're dealing with here.
Pretty much. I mean, I went to a couple of parties, a couple of drinking parties.
Yeah.
A couple of parties out
So
in the
were you
pasture.
popular?
I say no, but I'm told I was.
Okay.
I don't like to say I was popular, but I do like. Oh well, yeah, I could say I am popular because what was it the other night?
Yeah, you ran for mayor.
I go.
But were you like that in high school?
I mean, yeah, for the most part.
Really? You walked down the hallways, everybody knew your name.
Yeah,
Okay. So you were popular.
I guess so. Yeah,
You could say it.
Yeah,
Okay.
feels weird to say that though.
It's not weird to say that.
Yeah, it says
If you're popular, you're fucking popular. There's nothing you can do.
yeah, it's popular. People knew who I was.
Yeah. The right people knew who you were.
Yeah,
Like the principal didn't know who you were, but
well,
everybody
the
else.
principal knew who I was, but not for those reasons.
Okay,
yeah,
he just knew that you were a good kid.
Yeah.
So were you,
So the principal, he actually pulled me off to the side one time and goes, "Hey, you're going to be in some random drug testing." I was like, "Really?" I kind of looked at him and goes, "Do you really think?" He goes, "No, we just need you to round out the numbers for like, oh, we know you're not going to test positive." I was like, "Damn." He knew. He even already knew. He's like, "I know you're a good kid."
so no drugs, no anything like that.
No.
Really?
I wasn't until I was 16. I didn't have my first drink until I was 16.
Really? So you didn't even have alcohol till you were 16?
No.
Wow.
I lost
Yeah,
my virginity
Garret.
at 15, but
Hey,
I didn't start like drinking until I was 16.
that's crazy. Okay, I mean, so you're up. Yeah, man, you're the good kid.
Yeah.
You're just the all-American good kid. So you get to high school,
Yeah.
normal BC student.
Yeah, BC student.
Never really got.
You know what? It wasn't until my sophomore, junior, senior year, go out to parties, and
Yeah.
have some drinks, smoked a little weed every now and then.
Did you? Did never a got in trouble story in high school? Never. I got caught by the cops. I got arrested. Nothing.
No,
Really?
it wasn't. It wasn't until I got to Cisco that I like ran from cops. and
So
stuff like
this is the
that.
crazy thing is I don't. In my world, you're a unicorn. I've never met that before.
Really?
No, there in my world, there's nothing like that. Nobody in my world, aside from my parents and shit, but nobody in my world doesn't have a record. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. No. I know. Once I got to Cisco is when I had moments where like, oh, I had to run from the cops.
Really? So you graduate. Trident Spring. Now, you went to Cisco. Did you go on a scholarship or you just went?
You go on like half a scholarship.
You're getting paid to be in school.
Yeah, they give you only half because they can't give you full rides. It's a JUCO,
Right.
I mean, they ain't got that much
understand.
money, so
But there's your a portion of your money. I mean, a portion of your education is coming from playing sports.
yeah.
Really? And so, okay.
And at Cisco, pretty much everybody was playing a sport or they were like in band. So if you were going to that school, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to school just for school. No, you were there for extracurricular activities.
Right.
Whereas you go to University of Texas, my God, half the school is not doing anything. They're just there to go to school.
Yeah, there's a
They
school.
got good grades or whatever. Cisco, which is, don't get me wrong, a small little town.
So Cisco's where?
Just heading west of Stephenville,
Oh, okay.
in Eastland.
So Stephenville.
in between Eastland and Putnam.
Okay.
Middle of, I mean, if you blink, you'll miss it.
So that all that's out there is the college.
Yeah. Well, and here's the funny thing. Their high school, they win more than the college there.
Really?
Yeah. So their high school would be like Crawford.
Okay.
That's how I always referenced it. Is kind of like downtown Crawford is what Cisco looked like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just a little small
If
town.
anything, our school was the nuisance of the town.
Your school bothered the town.
Yeah. Bill, I mean, we had so many people coming from all
Yeah.
over, and yeah.
Yeah, you doubled the population just because the school was there.
Yeah, and I mean, we all acted like idiots.
So was Cisco your only option or was there other options out there?
There was Navarro, like all the JUCOs around.
All JUCO. So
Navarro,
there was no
Tyler.
D2s. It was all
Now,
JUCO.
if I wanted to go to like a D2, I would have to pay full price and then like
Okay.
earn a scholarship. But
Right.
the money's just like, there's no way we could afford that.
Okay, so you weren't you're not buying no college.
Not well, like I mean,
Not without grant. I mean, not without loans and all that shit.
Exactly. So I mean,
You didn't want to do that.
no, and no, yeah. I mean, I could have gone into. I got offers from looked at from Navarro, Tyler, Kilgore, and then Cisco, and my head coach at the time was telling me he thinks I would be a good fit at Cisco.
I was just fixing to ask why you went to Cisco.
Really? I mean, just taking
And not one of the other ones.
Well, the recruiter, Coach Hurd, he was real good at recruiting me. He was pretty straightforward. He didn't sell me all these pretty, this is what you're gonna get. He was very much grounded on you're coming here to go to school and play ball and
Right.
And of course I didn't know nothing about all these other schools and so I just wanted to go play ball somewhere.
I
asked my coaches too. I was like, what's in your opinion? Because my head coach and my offensive line coach, they were real close with me.
Right.
And they just both told me, said, all right, because they know this colleges. They've had kids go wherever. They've been in the game long enough. And they said, you would be a good fit at Cisco. You would succeed there.
Nice. So you wanted to keep playing football?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm only saying that because I played sports when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Football being one of them. And when that last game got there, it was not tears of sadness. It was tears of, oh, my God, I never have to do this again. So excited.
Oh, no, I was tears of
They
sadness.
could have walked up with a full ride to the University of Florida with any pick of dorm I wanted to live in. I would have said, keep it. There's no
Really?
chance I'm ever doing this ever again.
I loved it. So I was like, yeah, I want to keep playing.
Yeah, see, that's just, again, you're a unicorn. That's not.
And the game plan was go to Cisco, play for 2 years, and then you get picked up somewhere and finish out your 2 years wherever. And since they had a freshman team, I could finish out my 3 years somewhere else.
So that was the next question I was going to have is that what were their offers once you got to Cisco? No, you just stayed there.
Once I got to Cisco, I did not live up to what I should have been. Oh no, yeah. I that's where Garret started fucking up.
Okay. So now Cisco is a 2 year or 4 year?
2 year.
2 years. So
technically it can be a 3 year. It just kind of depends. 2 years normally, but say if you go in and you do your freshman year and you don't burn your red shirt, you can do 2 years there if you're worth a third year.
But as education wise, it's a 2 year?
Yeah, it's like a 2 year.
Okay, so associates as far as you're going.
Associates about as far as you go. You could get a bachelor's from there.
Yeah.
I know there's some people who did, but I mean, everybody's just all associates.
Oh, so that's what you have now?
No, I got a bachelor's now.
Where'd you go after Cisco?
McLennan County Community College to Tarleton.
You went through via Tarleton.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went to MCC just with
and this is where I didn't finish my associates at Cisco.
Oh, you finished it here.
I finished it at MCC, and then once I finished it there, I did Tarleton through MCC.
Right.
Because I'm not moving back to West Texas.
Right. Did you enjoy West Texas, huh?
Yes and no. Everything closes at midnight.
Yep.
Nothing stays open past 2, which was a big shock for me at first.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what pissed me off is Cisco and everything. We were a dry county.
Yeah.
And the moment I left Cisco, it became a wet county.
You know what's crazy, man, is especially from being around here, a lot of people don't understand the dry county thing.
Oh, yeah.
I tell people, so the town that I was born in, not grew up in necessarily, but that I was born in, it's a dry county, and the next county that serves any kind of, they can do it in bars and restaurants, but you have to have a membership.
Yep.
Is that how it was there?
Yep.
Yeah, you have to have a membership, so you have to sign on to be a member of La Fiesta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Either way, I tell people, I say, if you want to get beer, the closest place to go get beer is about 45 minutes, an hour away.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, you got to drive an hour to get a six-pack.
We either had to drive to Ranger, which it was either there or go to Putnam. And we always went to Putnam because we had a player's mom who worked there. Oh, and nice. She would it's kind of like, okay, I know they're getting it from me, so I'm not half as worried of what they're going to be doing.
Right.
And half the time, it's just us staying in the dorms or down by the lake drinking.
So you went to second high school.
So, yeah, pretty much. Oh, yeah, I went to second high school. because I'm out of my shell. I'm out of my little small China Spring. I'm around people who are from Dallas, who are from Fort Worth, who are from Houston, all these other people. And I was the minority.
Of course.
So that's where
if you're playing sports, you're the minority.
So, well, no, I mean, oh, yeah, absolutely. So you could catch me hanging out front, smoking a Black and Mild.
Right.
And hanging out. And I remember one time we're in my dorm room, and we called up the local pizza joint right nearby. And we ordered, I mean, it's me and a bunch of linemen. So like, yeah, we need like 3 large pizzas. Bring them by. I said, hey, bring it by the open window at this Nance Hall. You go, okay, why? I said, because there's a ton of people out front. You're not going to make it to our dorm room with all those pizzas.
Right.
They are going to bug the shit out of you and probably pay you for our food.
Right.
So I was like, bring it to the window so we can pay you for our food. At first he was like, I'm not going to make it. I was like, no, we're not going to mug you.
Yeah.
But understand, there's like 40 other people hanging around the dorm. Let's just make this easy.
Yeah, make it easy on yourself, man.
Because all they're going to do is hassle you until you give them the food.
So now small town Garret goes to basically another small town, but it's a small town with big town people in it.
Yeah, and away from home.
And away from home, so you're not having to go home and face the music every night.
No.
So that's when you turn into maybe a little bit more.
Well, like I went to parties in high school.
Yeah.
I would just sneak out, and I was actually pretty good at sneaking out.
That's your big ass.
Then again, I don't think mom and dad ever really worried about me as much as they worried about my sisters.
Yeah,
they're a little more wild child. So even
your sisters were the wild child.
So I think mom was blinded by it, where dad knew. He just wasn't. He's just like, you're home, you're safe. Okay, I'm not worried about it. Whereas mom was kind of more naive on like, oh no, Garret would never do that. He's like, you sure? For the longest time until I was 23, my mom thought I was a virgin. I mean, and it was either she just didn't want to believe it or she did not know it.
Until you were 23.
Until like dad was like, you didn't know?
Your dad had to break it to her that Santa Claus wasn't real?
I ended up breaking it to her, but like, I was like, Mom, I haven't been a virgin since I was 15. She goes, oh my God, just like freaking out. And I looked at her and said, Dad, when did you know? He goes, I knew the day you
you walked in different.
Yeah, exactly what it was. You carried yourself different. I said, I'm not dumb. He goes, Garret, I saw her pulling up to the house as I was leaving. I said, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I was like, what girl's coming up to the house wearing a schoolgirl uniform, Halloween uniform at like 8 in the morning?
No little 15-year-old kid Connor walks down the hallway. That's not how it works. You don't just randomly one day start Connor walking. It doesn't happen.
No. It doesn't just happen.
Something happened.
Something happens. If anything, that was my like vice. Is I was a horn dog in high school.
Oh yeah, were you? You made your rounds.
That's all I cared about.
See, that wasn't me, man. That wasn't me. Not in high school. I never was the big horn dog in high school.
That's all I cared about. I'm not saying I was always successful.
Right.
But I'm just saying that's all I cared about.
That's all you cared about. All right. So you get, good Lord. How do we always do this? We can't stay on track for
So anyways, all right, I'm at Cisco.
Right.
And that's where, all right, football season, you're not really, Thursdays you're partying.
Right.
But the weekends you're not. Mm-hmm. Come to off season, well, now the weekends are off. So one weekend I'll stay there. We'll throw a huge party. Another weekend, I'm going home. I'm going to go home and see mom and dad.
Right.
A couple of times cops break in and shut down the party, take our keg. Yeah. One time I know we got pulled over because I was driving my buddy Ken. He was 21 from the University of Houston, and he was, a monster. Mm-hmm. He looked like he was 25. So I drive him to Putnam so he can buy everything. Got everybody's money, everybody's order. And I remember getting pulled over by the cops. I had a truck bed full of beer. Yeah. I mean, we had a lot. And the guy just looked at me, gave him my license, and he just kind of looks and goes, so what are you doing with all that beer? I was just looking down and said, it's not mine, it's his. Huh? Pulls his license, give it to him. He's 21. He's just giving us that, like, you're a little asshole look.
Yeah. So, few parties in college.
Didn't get involved with a girl. And that my priorities were not school.
Oh, you got involved with the girl.
Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't get involved. I was like, okay.
No. Got involved with the girl. Priorities
changed. All of a sudden, football's out.
Yep.
Pussy's in.
Yep.
Okay.
So screwed up my classes. I failed a bunch.
Yeah.
So by the time I'm leaving Cisco,
Yeah.
I did 2 years.
Okay.
They told me, they were like, we got this coach. He's going to the Midwestern State University, and you'd be a good fit there. You could probably earn a scholarship. I was like, man, I'm not doing that earn a scholarship because I just can't afford the first year. Like, I can't afford that. I can't just take out loans, and I got no job. If I'm going to be doing football in school, I don't have time for the job.
Right.
So I end up, all right, they told me, they're like, but other than that, man, we're done with you here. So they told me they're done with me at Cisco.
God, see, that's why
I showed up for spring practice, and by the end of spring, I didn't get my summer workout plan.
See, this is the craziest thing. Is if you're not the first person I've ever known that has played past high school.
Yeah.
You're not the first. So talking to people from JUCO level all the way to D1, big boy college, it is such a business. It is a business.
It is 100% a business.
And they use you until, in high school it's all about the rah-rah and this and that.
You are a piece of meat.
You are a piece of meat, man. And when they're done with you, they just go, all right, man, thanks, fuck off.
I have told so many people who go to school after high school that I knew that were younger than me, and they asked me, they said, what? I was like, focus on school.
Yeah.
Focus on your grades and focus on football. I said, trust me, the moment you start slipping up, someone else will come in behind you. They'll just boot you out. They got somebody else waiting in the wing. You can be replaced.
Such a business,
you
man.
can be replaced like that.
It's just insane, man. Such a business, man.
When they really talk about, like, fine, we'll go and get rid of you. We'll get somebody in tomorrow. They're not lying.
Yeah.
Because every year, there's so many people who are looking to get into schools.
So insane, man.
So, yeah, and it was all my fault. I called Dad, and I told him, I was like, I'm on my way back. They don't want me back. So I came home like a big failure. To Mom and Dad, to me, it was to Mom and Dad, it was a huge failure. God, I hated myself. I was so just sulking. At that point, I was just drinking a lot. And
wow. So now this is what we're talking about.
yeah.
So you're just rock bottom.
I'm rock bottom. I go to MCC, finish my associates, little community college. And even then,
and have really nothing in the works.
And nothing in the works. So at that point, I was working at that shitty golf course that we talked about. And then I started working at the bar near the airport and near home. I was a bouncer. I was a big guy, so I was going to be a bouncer. I had a cool head on my shoulders, so I went from there to being a bouncer, then a bar back, pretty much a bartender's bitch. Stocking, you know what it is.
Yeah.
And then to a point where I could start serving drinks, so kind of just working all three. But then I got focused on the bar life. So,
sure. And I'm telling you, man, anybody who hasn't worked in a bar, it sucks you in.
It sucks you in big time. You get to know people. And you get a good crowd, good regulars. You make good money if you bust your ass.
Yep.
But at the same time, God, there's so much BS that goes with it.
Yep.
There's so much bullshit that goes with that job.
And not only that, man, but you get so when you're around everybody that lives like that, you start living like that.
Yep.
So it's just, well, I get off from my job at the bar and I'm going to go to the bar, and then, so you become a regular at another bar.
Yep.
And then now you're the regular.
And that's what it was we would get George's crew coming in. We're like, oh, George's closed up. And then if we got done early, we go to Treff's. Treff's knew we were coming in. They're like, oh, there's a Lakeside crowd. And, oh, yeah, or Crying Shame.
Yep.
You're like, oh, Lakeside's here tonight. And it'd be me and a couple of the bartenders. And,
It's insane how you get sucked into that.
It's sort of like a revolving door.
It is. It's so strange how you get sucked in that. It's the same thing. Even because I know that you mainly did the bar thing, but the places I always worked they were always bar restaurant.
Yeah, bar and grills.
They were bar and grills and stuff like that, and it's the same. Wait staff, same thing. It doesn't change a drop.
That's weird.
You get off from work and you go somewhere, and they're like, oh, here's the so and so crowd, or here's the so and so crowd.
That's just weird to me.
Yeah, but wait staff, bartenders, it's all the same thing. It's like it's just like they're a traveling group of just what the fuck is going on, And the crazy thing is I'm sure that you were in the same. You make loads.
Oh, you make great money.
Of money, and and it's all cash, so it's right there. Well, so then you go out to the bar and just get fucked.
Well, the best money I made was when I was making, we finally got to the point I was working. Okay, so let's get back on track here for a second because it will roll back into the money.
Sure.
Is one, yeah, I'm making better money that was at the golf course, but I still kept the golf course because also, it's still extra money in my pocket, so why not work 2 jobs? And I was going to school. It got to a point my grades were getting so bad, I was on academic probation.
At MCC.
At MCC.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was really fucking off. I was not doing my shit. I wasn't taking care of my papers. I wasn't going to class. I was truly fucking up to where I lost my loans, where I had to get a loan to. Now, the only loan I would ever get was really to pay for the class. I'd pay for my books, stuff like that. Right. It got to the point they had to take that away. My financial aid was gone. So I only had to cut down to 2 classes, pay for those out of pocket. Mom and Dad offered, and I was like, no, you can't pay for it. This is
my thing.
This is my thing. I'll live in a box before I ask Mom and Dad for money.
Right.
And there's a couple of times they've had to bail me out.
Sure.
It was a learning curve of growing up of not knowing how to manage your money.
Sure.
They've had to bail me out of the red a couple of times.
Sure.
And I've had to pay them back. And,
sure.
Yep. And yeah, it got to a point where I finally kind of had to straighten up. I was like, all right, enough's enough.
Yeah.
Finally get my grades back on point. I barely get my associates.
Hey,
to where enough to where I could start a bachelor's because they're going to be like, oh, you got to go back and do this job. You got to go back and take this class.
Let me tell you something, man. A student or C student, you go to any doctor school in the world, whether you get made A's or C's, what do they start his name with? Doctor. Don't matter. Yep. Them C's and the A's don't make a shit as long as you make it through.
So I'm wasting these years. And then I finally was like, all right, I'm done with the golf course. That place is so much bullshit. I just couldn't do it anymore.
You think?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, God.
So while I was bartending, I was like, I need to look for a big boy job. So that way when I'm done with school,
a real boy job, a real Pinocchio job.
A Pinocchio job, yeah. Real boy job.
Real boy job.
So I'm looking at Mom and Dad. I'm just kind of trying to get ideas. And while all this is going down, at first I was living with Mom and Dad. Grandma's house catches on fire. She's in the hospital. Recovering
from the fire?
No.
Oh, Jesus, man. I was like, oh, my God.
So listen to this little story. A little segue into it, but it all ties together. My grandmother was in the hospital. She had surgery on her hip. Hip got infected. So she was in the hospital for a long time. She ended up never moving back home. She ended up having to move to like a nursing home.
Oh, that's...
Oh, yeah. But while she was in the hospital, her son, my uncle, him and his boyfriend were living there, and the house caught on fire. Turns out my uncle had been draining her of all of her money. Oh, yeah, he was just using her, abusing her, that she would never say anything. We never got to see her at home. She one time asked for a check, and we were looking like, well, when Popo died, I mean, you were well off. Like, you never needed money the rest of your life. And now all of a sudden she's asking for money, and we're like, okay, Mom is like, we'll write you a check. We'll just tell us who to write the check out to. She goes, and it was clearly like, no, she's getting money for her son. So house burns down. Dad's like, great. We're kicking his ass out. He's cut off. He's done. Dad got power of attorney for my grandmother, so my uncle's done. They rebuild the house. House is fully insured. Build it back bigger, better, and new.
Right.
I mean, this house, it's out in Conley. It's on Lacey Lakeview, but it's one of those older ones that are huge on the inside. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 bedroom, 2 bath, two living rooms, a dining room, a kitchen, and a garage turned into a game room. I mean, it was huge.
Yeah, it's a nice house.
So they talked about, hey, we need somebody to stay there. And I said, well, I'll do it. I mean, I got no wife, no kids. I'm going to school. I can live there. And I'll just live there until she moves back, and then we'll figure it out from there. Sadly, she never moved back. But I lived there for a while. I mean, I had this big-ass fucking house.
It's so awesome, isn't it?
I had 2 buddies of mine come in and move with me, and all we had to do was pay for the insurance and utilities.
Oh,
because the house is paid for.
That's insanely awesome.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, and we took good care of it. I mean, it was great. And then finally, when it came down to she's not ever moving back to when she passed away, all right. Because my grandfather took a second mortgage out to give it to the bank. Because after she died, none of us were going to take the house.
Sure.
Let the bank take it. That's whatever. But yeah, I was living there for a little bit too. Through all of this, and then I got the job as a temp at Mars for staff management. And so I started doing bartending. I was a temp, and I was going to school. Now I was going for my bachelor's. And I finally got down to the perfect routine to where I would work Monday through Thursday. I would go in from 3 to 11 as a temp for staff management at Mars. Now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday were my classes early in the morning.
Okay.
So I would do all my classes, 12 hours. I did the full 12-hour schedules.
Right.
And then Thursday, Friday and Saturday, I would bartend from 7 till close, so 7 to 3 a.m. Wow. And then Sundays were my only days off.
So this is where you kind of buckle down and like, all right, I can get my shit together.
This is where I got my shit, and this is where I have no sympathy for people when they're like, well, I don't have time for. I'm like, really? I've worked 2 jobs most of my life because I fucked off at school. Like, right. If I didn't actually buckle down, I'd be doing this for the rest of my life. I'd be stressed out working probably 2 shit jobs.
Right.
And if once I finally, I had leads that were begging me. They're like, when are you going to get hired on? I said, well, I want to wait until I got my degree. I want to go into it with my degree. That way I don't have to go read back and be like, oh, look, now I got it. Because that's what Tiffany was wanting. She was like, as soon as you, sign up, let me know. I can get you on and everything like that. And then I was on and off with the bar. Like, all right, I'm done. Okay, I'm going to come back for this year and I'll work here. And okay, I'm off. So I was on and off for 5 years.
Again. Bar life.
It sucks you back in.
It sucks you back in.
Hey, we got a concert coming up. We could use the help. Yeah, okay, I'll make some extra.
Sure, why not? And then all of a sudden you're working
and that point, when I was with staff management, I was there, I had it worked out perfect. Friday and Saturday, $10 an hour because I'm a bouncer. I'm part of security. But since I was also the bar back, I got 20% out of the total tips.
Nice.
Because I'm behind the bar serving drinks, stocking. I was a jack of all trades, a master of none. The only thing I wasn't was a manager.
Sure.
And I mean, I've made shit. 1 week would be $350.
Right.
And I mean, that's perfect. Like that's 2 weeks. That's 2 months worth of gas. with the truck I was driving, I wasn't spending much money on gas. So I mean, I was living it good. I was just working all the time. I was just burning the candle at both ends. But like by the time I got my degree, I mean, goddamn, it had been 7 years.
Jesus, Bert.
Yeah.
So God.
But it's because I was just fucking off.
Yeah.
I got all caught up in wanting to party and.
Yeah. So you kind of Van Wildered it. You partied for a while.
I did. That's exactly what I did. I am Van Wildered for a little bit.
So.
And there's people who've had way tougher stories than me. Mine's not tough at all.
No,
mine's just
sure.
Mine's just a story of a dumb kid fucking off.
You know, I have the same. Like I said, everything I did was always, it was my fault, but I had some rough times. We'll talk about that.
Oh later. Yeah, and I know
we'll talk about that in a later episode.
But mine is so G-rated on this show. Mine will be.
See, but that's why I wanted to start with yours. I really did because before that's kind of the wrap up. So what'd you get the bachelor? So what's the bachelor's actually in?
Business administration.
Oh, so that's like right down the alley of where we're at.
Yeah, I mean it's right where we're at for work.
Yeah,
but you know the funny thing is I got people that are like, oh, so you got so you're set. You're gonna go like just because I got that paper does not mean.
But man, it helps. God damn, does it help?
I wish it ain't been helping me up that much there.
It will,
but at the same time,
it will.
Yeah. It will.
That bad boy is gonna. Yeah. That's a loaded gun you're carrying.
You remember when Juan used to work with us?
Yeah.
He was telling me about it, and I told him, I was like, right now, yeah, I got that degree, but I just don't have the time experience in our field, in our certain work field.
Yep.
I said, so let me get the 5 to 7 years in there, then it'll start to take me serious.
Yep.
Right now, I'm only 4 years in. I'm lucky they took me serious in the position I'm in. Even with my degree, I'm lucky that they even took me serious.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of like football. For a D1, for a lineman, unless you're 6'3", 330 and up or something like that, they're not even going to bother looking at you.
Right.
If you're not a certain height requirement, they don't care. Same with our job. Unless you got certain years in there, they're not going to look. They're not going to take you serious.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing's going to take you a ways, man. That's not a question. That's just when it gets there.
God, it'd be nice. Go to a straight day shift up in the front.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like those people, it'd be nice to be there.
Yeah. I wish I was on a straight midnight.
Man. If I give me a straight midnight or straight day, I'm down.
Yeah. I don't hate afternoons.
Give me any straight shift. I don't like day shift, but if I work straight days, I'd like days.
Yeah. It's tough. I'm just glad I'm not rotating anymore. But
oh yeah,
that's the big thing. I tell people like this. I said I went to my second least favorite. I was like, because I'm always a midnight guy. So I'm not. So afternoons is the worst.
Yeah,
that's the worst. And then day shift is pretty close behind that. And then they were like, "You're gonna get off rotation." I go, "Yes." And they go, "You're going to day shift." Damn it! Like, can we get any other one?
There's been. My road has not been hard.
Hey man,
mine's had a lot of unnecessary detours that I've taken down, but that has wasted my time.
That's a good thing. That's why I wanted to start off with yours, because this show is supposed to be very positive.
Yeah,
it's leaning towards positive. I like to crack jokes about. There was a few I wanted to crack jokes about in there, but I was like, oh, let's take it easy. But I want to crack jokes about the stuff like that, and and I like to hear the stories. But I wanted to start off with a very mild one, only because the ones coming are so.
Oh yeah, they're
bad,
so bad,
so bad. But they all have this positivity because, I mean. You fucked off your college thing. You got yourself back on track. And at the end of the day, you're making pretty good money.
Yeah, I'm making good money. I got a job. I'm not in jail.
Got a decent vehicle. You're not in jail. You're living out on your own.
Yeah. It's like, is there really anything to complain about?
Exactly.
And that's why, that's one of the things I keep telling myself too. I'm like, you get your bad days at work.
Sure.
And you want to bitch and moan about your situation. Then you go, well, there's people who've had it a lot worse than you.
At the end of the day, you go, you know what?
There's people who've had to go through so much more bullshit than you. What'd you do? You screwed around at college, wasted a bunch of money. Well, whose fault is that? That's yours. Now that's why you have so much student loan debt. Well, yeah, Garrett, you're an idiot. You shouldn't have done that. Yeah. You should have been smart. There are other people who've been through way worse who are now good and better off.
Yeah.
Don't bitch. Don't complain.
That's my thing is I just look back, and that's what I want everybody to get out of this show when you're listening to it is I like to for people to tell these stories just so that if there's somebody out there that's going through this, dude, you're going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to make it. Like, you're going to make it. Well, hopefully you make it.
Hopefully
you make it. And I just want it to be a shining light that, like, hey, man, even a dumb shit made it. So, like, don't think you're not going to make it. No. Like, you can make it. Just you got to get your shit together.
You just got to figure it out.
Yeah, you got to.
And that's what it was for me. I had to actually sit down and go, all right, I got to stop doing this. I got to actually quit doing this, going here, doing this dumb shit.
So if you, that's kind of the message is if you're being a dumb man, listen to other people's stories because that's what got me through my times. Was I would just look around and people would be like, "Yeah, man, I was doing the same thing," and I was like, "No, you weren't. You don't know what you were. You don't know what I'm going through."
Oh yeah.
And then they start telling you, and you're like, "Oh Jesus Christ! Oh my God!"
Oh yeah, no, there's people. Well, you for instance, you've had through a lot of shit. Yeah, oh my God.
It's just. And even me, I there's people that I know out there that I'm like, "Oh my God, like that happened." Like, are you sure you're okay? Like, yeah, and it like you're gonna make it, man.
You're gonna make it.
It's gonna be fine. We're all gonna make it.
Oh yeah.
Quit worrying about Biden. Quit worrying about this and that.
Oh God, about Biden and Megatron.
Yeah, man, Megatron and whether you're gonna get sick or not. Quit worrying about all that shit. We're fine.
Don't worry about it.
We live in America. We made it.
We did make it. Damn, that's good. We live in America. We made it.
We made it. We made it. Garrett, I appreciate it, buddy.
Anytime.
Oh, this has been We Made It, and not a bad first episode, man.
Not bad.
You're pretty good.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.